Hello and welcome all lone wanderers, vault dwellers, and the just plain horribly mutated. Today we're taking a look at what I think is an underrated version of the good old combat rifle, and that is the automatic .38. Now you're probably wondering, why would anyone downgrade the rifle from a .45 caliber to a lower power .38? Well, it's a simple issue of using up surplus ammo. It's also cheaper to craft the ammo type, and it's more plentiful. So let's see if we can turn an otherwise mediocre rifle into art.
State of the art, bang bang.
Well, not quite, but with the right legendary effects and perk cards, the gun might just surprise you with its fairly decent dropping power.
I like it!
Give it up, faggot of a man.
Butthole, get your own!
For those of you unfamiliar with the combat rifle, it comes in single or automatic fire, and can be crafted if you know the plans from level 20. The famed Fixer rifle is a highly improved version of the combat rifle. As a comparison between the basic versions of the .38, .45, and the Fixer, the .38 offers roughly about 30% less damage than a Fixer, and in the order of 15% less damage than a .45 combat rifle. Although these figures are fairly loose estimates, so don't quote me on that. In any case, the .38 will offer lower damage than other combat rifles. As with all weapons, having the right perk cards will make a considerable difference, but we'll briefly go over that towards the end of the video. Fortunately, the combat rifle is fairly common in the wasteland, so chances are that once you reach level 20 at least one will drop at most events. First, you'll need to either get a combat rifle, or craft one if you know the plan. After that, you will need either the plan or the mod for the automatic .38 receiver. These can be awarded from events, looted, or you can buy them from vendor bots at Camden Park, Pleasant Valley Station, and Sunnytop Station in the Savage Divide region. Occasionally you may be able to find one at Watoga Station in the Cranberry Bog. Also, remember to scrap any extra combat rifles you come across in order to unlock mods. However, the automatic .38 receiver can't be learned from scrapping. Other than the receiver, these are the mods you should consider using with the gun. If you've scrapped enough combat rifles, then these modifications should be available for you to apply to the rifle at a weapons workbench. First, the aligned long barrel, the forceful stock, mainly to improve weapon durability, a perforating ammo magazine for better anti-armor damage, a reflex sight to reduce action point cost in VATS, and the suppressor, to increase your chances of putting in a few sneak attacks for greater damage. To get the most of this normally pretty ordinary gun, you will need to take your chances using some legendary modules. So if you're limited to only a few modules, then, in my opinion, it's better to do only 2-star legendary rolls. So what's a decent roll for this weapon, you're probably asking? Well, it all depends on special layout. But as a general all-round legendary effect, then anti-armor is definitely one of the best, as it's not conditional and offers better damage than a 2-shot effect. The quad ammo capacity effect is good given the limited round capacity of the perforating magazine, but the benefit is largely mitigated by the lack of any damage increase. Strangely enough, with the adrenal reaction serum, a Juggernaut's effect is worth considering, and the aristocrat effect is worth trying if you have over 30,000 caps. As the second legendary effect, either the faster fire rate or the increased critical damage effect can't be betted. To get the most from any automatic ballistic rifle, equip the following perk cards as soon as you can. All 3 commando cards, Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, Tenderizer, Adrenaline, Bloody Mess, and finally, the Better Criticals perk. As for a legendary perk, the Taking One for the Team perk is highly recommended for increased weapon damage if you're playing on a team. Finally, let's field test the gun against our unwitting volunteers at West Tech. The Super Mutant Champions are definitely not the hardest of enemy to drop, but give a good all-round indication of the weapon's capabilities. For the tests, we're going to put a level 50 standard automatic .38 up against a legendary anti-armor version of the same gun. For both, we will be using all the perks I've mentioned earlier, but we won't be using the adrenal reaction serum, chems, or any temporary buffs.
It's showtime.
Well, as you can see, the standard automatic .38 struggled with average damage figures of 100, whilst the legendary anti-armor explosive 38 was noticeably higher and used almost half as many ammo rounds. Admittedly, far better performance could be obtained with chems like Psychotats and a small gun's bobblehead. In conclusion, I would have to say that the automatic .38 combat rifle is better than I first expected, but it's not at the same level as a fixer or a handmade. I believe the weapon makes a good secondary ranged weapon and is worth considering. That's it from me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay mutated.